Test, test, test.
Morning, everybody. Today, I think we will do something a little bit different for the morning service. We will be doing the Sojo Gogyo, which is uncommon to or unorthodox a bit to do this in the morning. But it is a funeral service that we do. But I think it's good to kind of keep ourselves on our toes and kind of practice these different chants. So the Sojo Gogyo comes in a book. It looks kind of like this. And we will be doing the Shoshinge, which is done on page 108 in the what's called the Zeze style. So it's a very simple monotone throughout. And there's a reason for that, which if I remember, I'll explain later. And it's followed by the Soebiki Nembutsu, which has a very unique melody to it. And then followed by two wasans, which also have their own kind of respective melodies to it, which look kind of like this. Okay, and so I've given a couple of you a handout, but unfortunately, I don't think I've given everybody a handout. But it's not doesn't take too much to kind of track this down. You can also reach out to me if you would like to get this a copy of this, but we're going to go ahead and do the Sojo Gongyo style of the Shoshinya today, okay, along with the Wasan. Okay, thank you.
Namanna, 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 samanna, samanna, namannas. Namanna, namannas. 少女歓喜知恵法不断難事務所上日が交渉人説一切群上無交渉音願妙語小上語死心心行願に浄土学書大涅槃一死滅道願成就如来生意報修正唯説弥陀本願大五条悪事群上大おし如来如実論納つ一年気合し無断本の特ネ本上逆法再入入手し入会一味摂取信仰上昇後いの水あむ妙はどんない心臓しゆむ上部真実信心でい尿にこむむしげみょむあ薬心謙虚大教義即応超絶暴悪臭一切善悪本部に門心如来偶勢願仏言古代諸下者善人妙分なりけ弥陀仏本願念仏邪見教満なく修上信行十字真に南中市南無かしインド最天シロンゲ中華自治域市構想現内小法聖書妙如来本性おうき釈迦如来如 主とせ質の在反無限先絶大乗無常法召喚議事召安な天智南行六六新行異行指導ら億年皆仏本願自念即時入筆上入意の上昇如来法法法大不税音天神菩薩増論説奇妙無下公如来耶修だらけんしんじ五千の頂戴誓願おゆ本願力へこ移動群上昇一心金入不動不大王会いつ逆入大へ収集徳子蓮華創世界即所神妙所持有本の無理現人図入所持音寺音下本師論南病天使上古乱消防殺来三蔵るし十条教本上専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下おうどいな見性がおうげねこゆたり少女しゆいしんじ惑前本部新人法小内小内即涅槃一心無量光明道小衆上回復系同社継承道南小有利明上道活入万全寺力変門宗円満徳合感染症三不三神慶音語増末法 称名化仙道独病無償意法愛上三女逆は法名名語見民年海入音願大地界行者少樹本語師行儀一年総を語行為大東逆三人即所法所市場ら現信公開一大教延期安女官に祭先祖終始安戦時法受け二度小弁流極重悪人有勝負外薬剤摂取中門の証言水不見大非無見上昇が本資源不病無教年民全幕本部に新宗教省本編集戦弱音願具悪性現代小自林伝芸地議上位少子即入弱上無意な一心人民の入仏教大自主士と上西無変極上具は同族自主具同士有意化心しごそうせなまなぶなまな ぶなあああもみなああぶなもあみだぶなあああみだあぶなもあみだおんがみりあいぬれああむなしくすぐうぞなあきうどくのうがああいみちみじておんのうのじょくしえだてなし如来上部家の小順あああ
Morning. The following is from the book Thus Taught Master Shichiri. So I'll read the following passage. The master said, "If we look to Amida's pure land, we may think it unimaginable for us to be born there. It's as if we went to the seashore and thought of the Honganji in Kyoto. It would thus appear impossible to visit owing to the vast expanse of sea between the two places. Likewise, we are separated from the Pure Land by the ocean of birth and death. Hence, it seems unthinkable that we might go there. However, if we want to cross that sea, there is a vessel waiting for us by the shore. Just looking to the Pure Land with the wish to go there is not enough to reach your destination. But once on board the ship of the Primal Vow, you'll be ferried to the Pure Land. This is because the vow has the power to take you there. The settled mind of this school, Shinjin, is to entrust in the vow, such that our birth in the Pure Land is assured simply by getting on board." This is taught by a very renowned scholar, monk who lived quite a while ago. I believe it's the 18th century, if I'm not mistaken. A person by the name of Shichiri Wajo, Shichiri Sensei, who kind of is famous to have said these, left behind these passages. And this has been translated by Inagaki Hisao, the late great translator, who translated this into English. And basically that saying that to get to the other shore is simply done by placing our trust or placing our entrustment in the vow, the working of the vow. And this vow, when we hear this word, is the Japanese term is hongan, hongan. And the vow, sometimes it might seem like it's very hard to kind of understand what vow might mean in this context. We think of wedding vows or vows as like a promise of some sort, but it's just putting myself in the average person's kind of reading of this or hearing of this term, it might seem very foreign, very kind of abstract. Why is this such a central concept in any religion, let alone Buddhism? It seems to be that it's only in this tradition, the Pure Land tradition, that we seem to be talking about the term vow. So I think another way to translate it, or hongan, there are different ways to translate this term. Other ways to translate it is Buddha's wish for all sentient beings. I think I've also seen the fundamental intent or the fundamental vow. I sometimes like to, in addition to the normal way to translate it, or the normal, I should say, the way that we here at the Nishi Honganji, the Buddhist Churches of America, have decided to kind of land on to translate Hongan is primal vow, primal vow. But when we hear primal vow, it still sounds kind of perhaps foreign to us, a little abstract. So I tend to use the explanation of great aspiration that might help to explain what hongan might mean, in the sense that the great aspiration is what underlies all of us, right? When we are asked, what is happiness, or what is the meaning of life, we tend to say that it is to find happiness or to find some kind of happiness. And for every person, that happiness might be a little bit different, right? But there is a great aspiration that will answer that call, that meaning of happiness, what the true meaning of happiness is. And so all of us have this sense of an idea of what happiness is, but it is a very limited sense of this sense of happiness, of this term of happiness. And this great happiness, this great aspiration that answers the meaning of happiness for all individuals is found in the primal vow, is found in this great aspiration or hongan. It is the great happiness beyond what we can imagine in our wildest dreams, beyond what we can conceive of in the parameters of our conceptual thinking, in our calculating and contrivance, right? It is far beyond that, and it is far underrooting all of those things that connects all sentient beings together, giving them the happiness. And it's not the happiness where you're like getting brainwashed or anything like that. Everybody will find their happiness through the accordance of their own karmic condition, right? So the way that this happiness will answer to me will be different from you and I, but it will nonetheless be this universal happiness, this universal aspiration. So that is the working of this inconceivable working of Amida Buddha, this inconceivable working of infinite wisdom and compassion, that it is both universal, but also specific to each person and answering each person's call for their question of what happiness would be. And so I think if we think of it in terms of great aspiration, hongan becomes all of a sudden something we can easily connect to. It is this world of this principle of this boundless wisdom and compassion that connects all sentient beings and answers the call, the question that we have to the meaning of life, to this question of what is happiness and meaning in our lives. And that is the way I like to kind of understand the hongan, the primal vow, which is such a central concept to our Pure Land Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, and what Master Shichiri has kind of alluded to or directly talked about in his statement here. And with that, I'd like to close with the Gobunshō. Those who wish to know in detail the essentials of the settled mind in our tradition do not necessarily require wisdom and learning. While aware of their deep karmic evil and helplessness, they should realize that Amida Tathagata is the only Buddha capable of saving such beings. Putting aside all calculations, they should single-mindedly entrust themselves to the Buddha for their emancipation in the afterlife, as if holding fast to Amida's sleeves. Then Amida Tathagata will greatly rejoice and send forth from his body 84,000 magnificent rays of light, embracing those beings in this light. We should remember that this is described in the Contemplation Sutra as the light shines everywhere throughout the worlds of the 10 quarters, embracing and not forsaking sentient beings of the Nembutsu. End quote. Therefore, there is no problem about our becoming Buddhas. How wonderful is the all-surpassing primal vow. How benevolent is Amida Tathagata's light. Unless we had a chance to encounter this light, we could not possibly be cured of the dreadful illness of ignorance and karmic hindrances we have had since the beginning was past. Prompted by the working of this light, those endowed with the past karmic good have come to attain the entrusting heart of other power. Thus, it has now become clear that the entrusting heart is bestowed by Amida Tathagata. Accordingly, we now clearly know that this is not the mind created by the followers, but the great entrusting heart of other power given to us by Amida Tathagata. Hence, those who have ever had the fortune to attain the entrusting heart of other power should remember their indebtedness to Amida's benevolence and always say the Nembutsu as an expression of gratitude for it, humbly and respectfully. Namandas, 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 namandas. Well, great. Thank you very much for participating into this morning's service. Today, just to give some kind of thoughts about the saho, the ritual involved today. This particular way of chanting the Shoshinge, which is also known as the Zeze form, is found in this book. It will be required of you if you are going to the ordination for the Tokudo, and so you'll be required to know this chant in particular and the way that it's chanted. And it's very unique in the sense the Shoshinge, is pretty straightforward. There's just that one part in the very beginning where it goes up, Goko shi yui shi shouju juse myosho monji ko. And this Goko, the explanation that was given to me was that it was to emphasize kind of emphatically this 5 kalpas of profound thought was put into this practice to attain enlightenment, which Bodhisattva Dharmakara fulfills and becomes Amida Buddha to save all sentient beings. And so that is kind of highlighted in the sutra, but everything else is pretty straightforward and monotone. There are no areas where there's a change in pace or you go up in pitch or melody or anything like that. It's very straightforward. And actually, as a matter of fact, the reason for that is, or the explanation that was given to me was that in this zeze form, when you are doing for a funeral, that you are providing time for the family to bereave, and so there isn't any way in which this sutra should kind of stand out in a sense. That it's very kind of straightforward and very to the point and very kind of somber in its tone. So as a matter of fact, sometimes we might tend to be a little bit militaristic in our chanting, like ki myo mu ryo ju nyo rai, and the pace and tempo has to be correct every single time, right? Whereas in the zeze form, it's a lot more kind of toned down. It's a lot more kind of somber and a lot more not relaxed per se, but quieter is probably the proper term there. So it'd be more like ki myo mu ryo ju nyo rai. So it's a little bit softer in that sense. Is something to kind of keep in mind for the zeze. And then following this, there's the Soebiki Nenbutsu, which is the part where it's very highly ritualized, right? Namo Amida and anyway, there are parts where you're supposed to draw out, and there are parts that go faster. I have it marked up in this book. These kind of red markings that show that I'm supposed to draw it out. And then there are parts where, like I say, I just have in my notes here, what do I say here? Go low. Whereas, because it's sometimes it seems like we should go here, but we should be kind of going lower than normal. And so these notations will be made abundantly clear to you when you go to Tokudo. They'll run through it with you. But this is kind of also the two wasan. Okay, and so I know where to draw it out, where to go lower than usual, and these kinds of things, right? And so I have these little notations, and so that will be made clear to you as you go through these the ordination and doing these funeral services. Now, granted, in BCA services, funeral services, most of them do not do this soebiki nembutsu. They will what I have seen in my experience is the shoshinge. There's like the sambujo. I'm sorry. There's the kisamboge, and then the hyobyaku, and then the kind of the offering of the dharma name, and then the shoshinge, and then just the nembutsu after that. And so this version of the shoshinge, the sojo gongyo that we do, that you'll be training for, is something that we don't normally do here at the BCA, but I feel like it's something that we should kind of reintroduce and kind of reincorporate. It's a beautiful chant. It's a very nice chant, and it's something that I think would be good for us to kind of continue on in the tradition. So with that, I'd like to close today, and I'd like to thank you for attending, and let's close with Gasho. Namandas, 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 namandas. Thank you.